So, let's talk about Planet Coaster 2. First things first, in this video we're going to talk about the revealed stuff a couple days ago. I wasn't able to do a video, but I've got some additional thoughts on it, so I thought, let's do a video on it and also address the magical elephant in the room, I guess. At the end, we're gonna talk about that at the end. You all know what I'm talking about. There's even been some, shenanigans going on the socials of Frontier these days. Anyways, you've seen it on screen right now. So, what I'm saying is that there is a new update, free update announced with a couple of very, very interesting features, and I didn't have the time to talk about, but I have read a lot of comments, and I wanted to address them, and I wanted to get into it. So, I'm gonna start with one of the biggest things people have been talking about, and that is the ongoing, well, do I say comment or complaint that all of this stuff we've seen yet to come in Update 7 should have been in the base game. And I do disagree. I do disagree for the first time, I gotta say. I have said that in the past, and I've said it many, many times. The launch was unfortunate, and all the updates up until update number, I would say 5 actually, would have been nice to have included in the base game, and should have been, to be honest. But if we look at the updates, and let's just quickly go through the list here, what kind of updates we can expect. So first of all, the challenge mode will be part of the game. Granted, that is the single one thing which could have been in from the beginning. Yes, okay. But then we do have further path upgrades, including some very cool terrain confirming stuff, which is absolutely incredible to see. Really, really amazing. We are also seeing a brand new kind of tilt option for grid pieces, a never seen before thing for Planet Coaster. We've never seen this in the game, and also not seen in Planet Zoo either. So on the engine, and also in the Jurassic Park games as well. I'm wondering though if Jurassic World Evolution 3 will get that same feature then. Very interesting. So there is the capability now to rotate all the gritty pieces and buildings and stuff. That is very, very fun. We finally get square edges to cube path, which is a great testament to them listening to us. So very good on their end that they did this. And honestly, those changes, let alone, are very significant for the quality of life updates. And, as we've seen something else in the teaser, you can expect content-wise that there is something else happening, I assume. So, seeing that and seeing what has been added in the past, we are now entering the, let's say, normal free update rhythm, which, if you're not aware with how that was treated in the past, and to be fair, it's been good that it wasn't the same way as in the past, because Frontier definitely needed to, do some maintenance work and fixer-uppers and stuff like that. But I gotta admit, it's very nice to see that they have managed to do that. So in the past, it used to be the same flow every 3 months. We got a relatively chunky free update that was available for everyone. By the way, just seeing that, we also get a new platform, which kind of rotates in a weird new way. Taggy is, I've seen a shot of Taggy that he's already going nuts about this. He's already sitting there and dreaming about what he can do kind of abnormally with these things again. So he's hyped about, let alone this thing. Anyways, back to the point. Frontier is a company who always used to do this kind of 3-month rhythm, bring out a DLC, and also add a relatively chunky piece of free updates. So in the past, we got a lot of cool free updates. We got the picnic benches as a free update at some point. We got the challenge mode as an update at some point. We got a scenario editor as a free update at some point, and so on. You get it. Every free update there was one bigger game mechanic added to the game. Or we get restaurants, hotels. All these kind of things have been added to Planet Coaster 1 as a free update, and they always came along a DLC that was kind of accompanying the idea of the free update. So there was always an idea in the update. Whenever you saw the free update, you could kind of guess what they're doing, because what they have been doing in the past is they have been shaping the free update in a way that it would give you the tools needed to make the DLC even better, if that makes sense, So, for example, if you had, let's say, a resort kind of update, which brings in or studios, it was back in the day, a studios update, it totally makes sense to bring along hotels as an example. I'm not even sure if they were together, by the way, but just as an example, because usually a studios park is a dedicated park next to a normal kind of Magic Kingdom vibe theme park. So usually something where people would have a hotel, and usually the movie kind of backstage stuff is in a park that has a size that requires a 2-day stay or something. So it just makes sense to benefit from having hotels. But as Frontier always had the philosophy to not bring in anything behind a paywall as when it comes to functionality, they then introduced that as a free update, and then in the game you get perfect assets to customize your hotel as you wish. So if you want to have the customizability, you get the DLC, but if you just want to have the hotel function and you want to do something else with it, you still could do that. And I do assume that we are back in this kind of rhythm of having updates every 3 months as a free update. Hopefully for a while now, bigger updates with more chunky stuff in it, just like that one, more significant updates. And then at some point, they will become more shallow, as there's A, not that much to be added, and B, you need to kind of tie that better to whatever is going to be the DLC. So let's say at some point we'll get a resort DLC, hotel DLC, as I'm still wishing for. You could easily bring in the weather mechanic for snow, and you could easily bring in hotel as a mechanic. That would be the free update, weather and hotel as an update, as a functionality. And then the, let's call it resort DLC for a moment, in the wintertime, would then bring a very nice kind of chalet style scenery items where you could build the perfect kind of hotels with, if you want to. Maybe some pool pieces that go along with this. Something like that could be very fancy, but that is then optional to be getting, but the functionality is there. I do assume that this is something we could see in the future, and I'm happy with this. Now let's address what this means for the monthly updates. Well, I think they're gone, which is a shame, but also understandable. At some point you need to kind of work your resources in a different way. See, the point is that I absolutely get all the complaints, and I was one of the more vocal people at the beginning, which fair play to Frontier. We talked about that during Gamescom. I met them in person. We just crossed roads, so to say, at Gamescom, and we had a brief chat, and it was it's all good, and they kind of thanked everyone for being that critical, and I think it's fine to say, because I found this genuinely cool from Kat and Chris, to be precise, that they were addressing that and saying, hey, we've seen the criticism, we've seen that, we brought it in, and we tried to work on that, which is amazing. And if you remember, I've been very vocal about a couple of things, so it's good to see that they really actively take that as inspiration and as positive criticism rather than negativity and so on. So I do really like that, and I want to give them also the benefit of that. They have improved tremendously over the last couple of months, and as I said, I wish to still have these monthly updates, because it felt really as pushing the game forward. And to be frankly honest, the last 3 months have felt a bit different. The kind of actually, it wasn't even full 3 months though, 2.5, I guess. But it just felt like I'm missing something. I want to have it now. I want to have some news in the game, which shows that the game is quite not there where it needs to be. Even though, to be fair, I could still do a million things in the game that I haven't yet. But that's on a different page. I really do need to say that I'm kind of fine with it. I wish they would have gone for the full year 2025 with the monthly free updates. I think that would have been, absolutely top notch. But if the next free update in presumably December then is quite chunky again, I think I can deal with this. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. I know we've got two kind of different, let's say, crowds in a way. I know there's one crowd getting a lot more optimistic about the game and genuinely happy, and there's that other crowd which is rather negative, and I think there's only, I don't even know what would be needed to make them happy. Actually, you can tell me. Tell me what is needed to make you if you're very negative about the game and you made it till this point in the video, let me freaking know what this is. What is causing you to not play the game? What would you need to play this game finally again? What is hindering you from enjoying the game? And honestly, just put it down. It's the most important thing for the developers, but also for me as a creator to address these things. It's not like I'm sitting here like, oh, all is good, everything is perfect. No, it's not. And I know, I'm aware, but there are obviously personal things, things that I like more than others. I've got preferences that other people don't. I couldn't care less about certain let's say, coaster mechanics that, you know, I'm a coaster guy, but I'm not that much of a coaster guy. So that, you know, this is not as important for other people maybe. But also, I'm not so much into management as a way, but I'm super into designing my park. So obviously, I'm more happy with all these path updates they announced now. While other people may say, well, scrap the path. I can do whatever I want, but I need A, B, C. Let me know. That is super important. Also, you know what's also super important? There's a linky to Instant Gaming in the description, and you can grab good old DLCs and stuff in there. And maybe you need a DLC in the future of certain games. Then you can get them there for good value. And you help me directly by using the service. Just if you made it till this point in the video, I thought just giving you that little hint. That would be wonderful because, again, you help me to reach my goals and, you know, you basically do a favor to yourself. Well, I guess a win-win. But yeah, we have to keep talking about the future as well and addressing something else that we see in the footage. Now, I can't really tell too much about what is in the footage because you will know more about this in a couple days on the 9th, as they state, and I can confirm you should wait for the 9th. That's a good day to wait for. Let's phrase it that way. But I think we're ready, and that's what I wanted to say. We're ready. We are ready for content. We are always ready for content, but we are ready. We are ready, guys. I said that before. I said it in my video to the update 6. I am ready for paid content if needed, and I think the comments were overly positive about that, so let's all hope to something good. I want to just quickly talk about the future of this game in general, more like, as I have no idea what's going on, I have no idea what they're going for, but one thing I wanted to say is that all the updates, the last updates, and now including update number 7, it's more obvious than ever that they started listening to us again. And I'm very happy about this. You could have the feeling they didn't before, and it's fair enough. It felt like it didn't, or they didn't. So I'm very much happy about the process so far. But, and this is something I want to end the video with, I want to end this on a high positive note with a catch. I think this is a very decisive moment in the development of Planet Coaster 2. We ended the monthly updates, so we go into a bit more of a normal support, but people have to feel now that the support is there and there is an ambition and a vision to this game for the future, that there's no holding back, that there is a long future ahead and people can optimistically wait and hope for something they always wanted in the game, including me. There is still so much I'm urging to have it someday that I wish we get these signs and the updates are significant, chunky, and work. That's all I wanted to end this video with. But now I'm very curious to hear what you think, what you guys think this ominous thing in the trailer is going to show us, and where this all is going to lead us. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Thank you so much. Also, sorry that I was quite late on the video, but, you know, it's been a very busy week, and yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, as always, for your support. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, but you want more updates on your favorite games that you see on the channel, make sure to, you know, sub to the channel, activate that bell. It's the easiest way to get notified when I update a video. And I promise I'm not always being that late. I try to be on the day again. So, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful time, and bye.